Do you know what troubles me the most as a physician who has spent more than 30 years caring for older adults? It's not the severe illnesses, it's not the lab results. It's that tiny moment when a 60 or 70-year-old patient stands up from a chair and I see them stumble. Or when they look at me and say, "Doctor, why are my legs getting weak so fast? Just last year I walked fine, and now I can barely trust my own body." And here's the part that shocks most people. Your strength, your balance, your independence, they don't fade because you're aging. They fade because we stop using the movements the human body was designed to perform. In Japan, people living into their 90 seconds, even 100, still walk lightly, bend, twist, and sit on the floor without needing help. They're not stronger, they're not luckier. They simply practice 6 basic movements every day, movements that anyone, including you, can start right now. So if you're in your 50 seconds, 60 seconds, 70 seconds, or beyond, this may be the most important video you watch to the end, because it will show you how to regain strength, improve memory, sharpen balance, and most importantly, prevent falls, the leading cause of injury-related death in older adults. Now, let me guide you through the 6 movements that have helped millions of Japanese seniors stay healthy for life. Before I guide you through each movement in detail, I want to ask you a simple question, one that is extremely important for a doctor like me. What age are you? And what challenges is your body facing right now? I'm not asking this for statistics. I'm asking because every person has a different health background, a different story, and I want to know exactly what you need so that every piece of advice in this video can serve you properly. You can leave a comment below and tell me, how old are you? What issues are you dealing with? Knee pain, dizziness, poor balance, difficulty sleeping, or simply wanting to feel stronger? And where are you watching this video from? I read every single comment, and I always do my best to respond. That is how you and I build a community of older adults who stay healthy, stay proactive, and continue improving day by day. Now, if you're ready, it'll take you to the very first movement. A movement so gentle that many people ignore it, yet it's the natural medicine millions of Japanese seniors practice every single morning. Exercise 6. Sampo, the art of slow walking, a gentle medicine for the body. In more than 3 decades of working with older adults, I've learned something important. It's not the heavy exercises that keep the body strong. It's the gentle, steady movements you do every day that carry you safely into your 70 seconds, 80 seconds, and even 90 seconds. And the first movement I want you to practice, the one that has been a cornerstone of Japanese longevity for generations, is sampo, also known as the art of slow walking. You might think, what's so special about walking slowly? But sampo is not just walking. It is a way for your body and nervous system to reset themselves, something many people lose after decades of rushing, stressing, and moving too little. Why sampo is essential for people over 60. When I treat older patients, I notice the same patterns again and again. They walk too fast, take steps that are too forceful, or steps that are too short. All of these lead to increased pressure on the knees, lower back pain, weak foot muscles, reduced balance and stability. Sampo gently improves all of these issues without strain and without effort. When you walk slowly, the entire foot connects with the ground, from heel to toe, activating the small joints that are crucial for balance. When you walk slowly, you breathe deeper and more consciously, sending more oxygen to the brain and muscles. And when you walk slowly, the heart rate settles, the mind relaxes, and the nervous system cools down. How Japanese seniors practice sampo every morning. Over 70% of Japanese older adults begin their day with 20-30 minutes of slow walking. They keep their head upright, eyes forward, shoulders relaxed, and their steps gentle, almost gliding. They combine these steps with a unique breathing rhythm. Inhale for 2 steps. Hold for 2 steps. Exhale for 4 steps. This rhythm brings the body into deep relaxation, lowers blood pressure, and improves circulation. A study from Kyoto University found that after just 8 weeks of sampo, older adults experienced a 12-15-point drop in blood pressure, significantly improved balance, better stamina for climbing stairs, reduced knee pain and morning stiffness. How you can begin today. You don't need to walk far. You don't need to walk fast. You don't need to push yourself. Simply, walk 5-10 minutes each morning. Keep your back straight. Relax your shoulders, take light, slow, steady steps. Breathe with the 2-2-4 rhythm. As your body adapts, you can increase to 20 minutes. then 30, just like the Japanese do throughout their lives. If you feel dizzy, short of breath, or your legs hurt, slow down and shorten the walk. The goal is not exhaustion. The goal is soft, steady, light, deep. Sampo is one of the gentlest gifts you can give your body after age 60. Exercise 5. Radio taiso. The 3-minute routine that wakes up your body the right way. As a physician who has worked with older adults for many years, I can tell you this. The small movements you repeat every day often create more lasting change than an hour of heavy exercise. And the clearest example of that is Radio Taiso, Japan's national morning routine. Every morning at 6:30, when the familiar piano tune plays, millions of Japanese, from school children to office workers to seniors in their 80 seconds, rise to perform this simple 3-minute 15-second sequence. Gentle, rhythmic, continuous, no strain, no pressure. I recommend Radio Taiso to my older patients because it delivers 3 essential benefits. It opens the joints, softens the muscles, and improves full body flexibility. The arm lifts, side bends, gentle twists, and rhythmic stepping all activate the small joints throughout the body, especially the shoulders, spine, and hips, which tend to stiffen with age. It boosts circulation and reduces morning stiffness. Just a few minutes of continuous movement improves blood flow, thins the thick joint fluid that accumulates overnight, eases back discomfort, and reduces that stiff, heavy feeling many people feel first thing in the morning. It creates a healthy, sustainable rhythm for your day. The magic of Radio Taiso lies in its consistency. Practice daily. It keeps the entire musculoskeletal system surprisingly youthful, something I've witnessed in many older Japanese patients over the years. And it's wonderfully simple to begin. You can start right now. Stand tall, relax your shoulders, raise your arms, lower them with your breath, roll your shoulders, gently rotate the spine, lean left and right, bounce lightly on your feet. Maintain a smooth, uninterrupted flow. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You only need to feel comfortable, move easily, and avoid pain. Before we move on to the next exercise, I want to ask you something, not just as a doctor, but as someone who truly wants to help. When you wake up in the morning, where do you feel the most stiffness? Your neck, your shoulders, your back, or your knees? Leave a comment and let me know. I'll prioritize the exercises that best match the challenges you're facing. Exercise 4. Deep Squat Rest. The full deep squat, mechanical medicine for hips and spine. During my years working in rehabilitation medicine, one thing always troubled me. Most people only begin to exercise when the body has been hurting for too long, when mobility has already declined, and when flexibility, something once completely natural, has quietly disappeared. And there is one posture I always want my older patients to relearn, not to show strength, but to restore the body's most basic movement ability. That posture is the deep squat rest. Why can Japanese seniors in their 70 seconds and 80 seconds still squat easily? I have examined countless older Japanese adults. What impresses me most is not their long lifespan, but their mobility. They bend, rise, twist, garden, and move with ease, as if the body carries no trace of age. The reason? They have maintained the deep squat position since childhood and throughout their entire lives. This posture fully opens the hip joints, preventing stiffness, moves the knees through their natural range of motion, reduces pressure on the lower spine, stretches the tendons and leg muscles in a way few exercises can, improves blood circulation in the lower body. Aging musculoskeletal system. This isn't just a posture, it's a form of mechanical longevity medicine. If you can't squat yet, that's completely normal. Many patients over 60 come to me with heels lifting off the ground, knee pain when lowering down, a rounded back when trying to squat, and I always tell them, don't force it, don't rush, don't push. What we need is not a perfect-looking squat. What we need is the ability to lower the body within a safe, comfortable range, allowing the joints to gradually open and the muscles to soften again. Try this. Stand with your back against a wall, feet shoulder-width apart. Lower yourself slowly, only as deep as you feel no pain. If your heels lift, place a small towel underneath them. And hold for 10-20 seconds, then rise slowly. Repeat several times a day. After 2-3 weeks, you'll notice you can go deeper, stay longer, and feel more comfortable, the earliest sign that your joints are beginning to feel young again. Do not underestimate this posture. It is one of the strongest indicators of whether a person can remain independent in old age. If you can lower yourself down and stand back up smoothly, without using your hands, without wobbling, your body is moving in the right direction. Exercise 3. Single leg standing. The most complete health test for adults over 60. Throughout my years working with thousands of older patients, there is one exercise I often consider the simplest yet most accurate health test I can give them, and it comes down to one short instruction: stand on one leg. It sounds almost too easy, but behind it lies a deeply insightful assessment of the nervous system, the muscular and skeletal system, balance and coordination, and even your risk of falling in the next 5–10 years. Why is single leg standing so important? When you lift one foot off the ground, your body must activate hundreds of rapid micro-adjustments to keep you balanced. The ankle adjusts. The thigh and hip muscles tighten gently. The core stabilizes. The eyes, inner ear, and brain coordinate constantly. And all of this happens within fractions of a second. In younger adults, these adjustments happen naturally. But after age 60, this system begins to slow, which is why many people start to feel unsteady, misstep, or fall when turning, stepping sideways, or climbing stairs. Single leg standing reawakens this entire system. A major Japanese study of more than 12,000 adults found that those who could stand for 30 seconds on each leg had up to 70% lower fall risk compared to those who could only stand for a few seconds. The method I always teach my patients: you don't need to stand long at the beginning. What matters is proper technique and consistency. Start like this. Stand beside a wall or chair for safety. Fix your gaze on one spot in front of you. Lift 1 foot to 4 inches off the ground. Hold for 10–15 seconds. Switch legs. Repeat 2–3 times per side. Once you're comfortable, you can increase the difficulty. Close your eyes. Turn your head gently left and right. Stand on a folded towel to create an unstable surface. Raise your arms or rotate them slowly. Each variation helps the brain and nervous system react faster. Something extremely important as we age. If you can only stand for 3–5 seconds, that is completely normal. What matters is not the number, but your ability to improve day by day. One of my patients, a 72-year-old woman, could only stand for 4 seconds before losing balance. After 6 weeks of consistent practice, she reached 22 seconds, and more importantly, she stopped tripping when turning corners in her home. When you practice single leg standing, you're not just strengthening your legs, you are retraining your entire nervous system, restoring the quick, precise reactions that age naturally takes away. Exercise 2. Floor sitting transitions. Sitting down, standing up from the floor, the test of strength, mobility, and even brain health. In my clinical work, I hear one sentence from older patients more often than any other: "Doctor, I can't get down to the floor anymore, and standing back up is even harder." To me, that is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of a lost habit, not a lost ability. Moving from the floor to standing is not just a simple motion. It is a comprehensive assessment of hip flexibility, thigh and knee strength, core stability, motor control, and most importantly, cognitive sharpness. Why do Japanese seniors maintain this movement for life? Japanese people eat on the floor, drink tea on the floor, relax on the floor. Because of that, they perform this transition dozens of times a day as effortlessly as breathing. That is why, at age 70 or 80, many of them can still rise from the floor smoothly, without shaking, without needing to use their hands, something many people in their 60 seconds elsewhere have already lost. When you practice this movement, your brain must plan every step. Lowering the knee, shifting your weight, keeping balance, rotating the hips, and finally pressing through the legs to stand up. This process powerfully activates the brain regions responsible for focus, coordination, and spatial awareness. How to practice safely and easily. If you're not used to sitting on the floor, start slowly. Place a low chair or the edge of your bed in front of you. Lower one knee to the floor first, then the other. Sit on your heels or shift into a cross-legged position, whichever is more comfortable. When standing up, gently use your hand on the chair or on your thigh for support. Repeat 2–3 times. As you grow stronger, gradually reduce how much you rely on your hands. The goal is not a perfect-looking movement. The goal is to reclaim the natural mobility your body once had and can recover again. If your knees feel slightly tight or your hips feel stiff, that is actually a positive sign. Don't stop. Stay consistent for a few weeks, and you'll notice yourself rising more easily, more lightly, and with far more confidence. Before we move to the most important exercise, let me ask you, can you stand up from the floor without using your hands, or do you still need support? Leave a comment below. I want to understand your actual ability so I can tailor the next recommendations for you. Because the next exercise requires nothing more than a small towel, yet it is more powerful than any workout you've ever known. It strengthens your body and rejuvenates your brain. Get ready. When you're ready, we'll continue with Exercise 1. Towel Twist. Small movement. Big impact: the full body activation therapy with just one towel. After more than 30 years of watching the human body change with age, I can tell you this with absolute honesty. Sometimes the simplest exercises are the most powerful ones. And among the 6 daily movements practiced by Japanese seniors, towel twist, the force-creating towel rotation, is the one that truly surprised me when I saw the results in older patients. Just one towel, just 2 minutes. Yet it activates deep muscle groups that most traditional exercises never reach, especially the stabilizing spinal muscles, the obliques, the shoulder girdle, and the small muscles around each vertebra. Why is this exercise so important? When you pull the towel outward and rotate your torso, your body performs a special type of muscle engagement called isometric contraction. The muscle tightens without changing length. This type of contraction helps strengthen the body's core engine, improve spinal stability, reduce chronic lower back pain, slow joint degeneration, support deeper breathing, and healthier circulation. What impressed me the most is this: the towel twist has a steeper powerful effect on the brain. When you rotate the towel to the left and then to the right, both hemispheres of your brain must coordinate to maintain balance, tension, and breathing rhythm. That's why Japanese studies report improved memory, quicker reflexes, clearer thinking, lower risk of cognitive decline. A simple movement, yet truly a total body and total brain exercise. How to perform it correctly, safely, and easily. Take a hand towel and follow my instructions. Roll the towel lengthwise. Hold each end at chest level. Pull outward gently to create light tension. Maintain this tension and rotate your torso to the right as you inhale slowly. Hold for 1 second at tension, the deepest point. Exhale and return to center. Repeat to the left. You do not need to twist deeply. You do not need to pull strongly. The most important part is maintaining tension throughout the entire rotation. This is the key that activates the deep muscles. If your shoulders or back feel tight, reduce the twist. If your arms feel tired, lessen the towel tension. Adjust slowly, gently according to what your body can handle today. I prescribe towel twist to many of my older patients twice a day. 1 minute in the morning wakes up the nervous system. 1 minute at night releases built-up tension. Just that, and the results become noticeable within a few weeks. As a physician who has walked alongside countless patients in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, and even 90 seconds, I want to tell you something with complete sincerity. The human body has far greater capacity for recovery than most people ever realize. Health does not come from strenuous workouts. It does not come from supplements or expensive treatments. It comes from simple, consistent, correct movements, the very same movements the Japanese have preserved throughout their lives. The 6 movements you've just learned are not exercises. They are the natural language of the human body. Walking slowly to breathe deeper and stay balanced. Stretching gently to soften the joints. Lowering to the floor and standing back up to maintain independence. Standing on one leg to train the nervous system. Twisting a towel to BD. Nourish the spine and activate the brain. Together, they form a complete system that helps the body become more flexible, more stable, stronger, and biologically younger. If you want to begin this journey, don't think about practicing all 6 movements at once. Start with just one, the movement that feels easiest for your body today. Practice it daily. A week later, add a second one. After a month, you will be surprised at your own progress. What matters most is never the speed. What matters is consistency. Your body is listening to every movement you make, and every small action you take today becomes a meaningful gift to your future health. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of this journey. If you'd like me to continue sharing safe exercises, scientific guidance, and practical support for adults over 60, leave a comment. I'm always here as your doctor and as your companion to help you live healthier, one day at a time.